I'm trying to be a parent, but I gotta run an errand. I promise when I'm back, I'ma feed my kid a carrot. Damn, this stuff is tough, man. I thought it was inherent. I'm trying to be a parent.
I don't know what time it is.
Sometimes you gotta drink.
Episode 21. Let's go.
You know your ass be slacking when you gotta look up things on YouTube.
Like, bro, how you wipe your baby boo-boo?
Now welcome to the podcast. Trying to parent and make moms laugh. Who you know got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean, it's the name G. Yeah. Now welcome to the podcast. Trying to parent and make pops laugh. Who you know got it like the King's family. Amanda and Sean,
It's the name G. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Welcome back. Episode 2-1. It is Sunday. It's
Easter.
It's that day.
That we're recording. It's Easter.
It is Sunday, April 9th.
2023.
Somebody has risen today. I think that's how the story goes. So,
Yes.
if that's what you believe in, hope you guys have a great day. And if not, I hope you also have a great day. Hopefully you get some candy or something, because I know that's a
Chocolate eggs.
key part of today.
I wish I'd got the little Reese's eggs.
Those are good.
Those are good. I
Those
don't
are good.
remember seeing.
Yeah, I don't
like
think I don't think people do Easter here.
It's like, well, there's Catholic
There's a lot
here,
of Catholic people.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, but it's in America. But I'm like, oh, but maybe not.
Maybe Catholic. Do Catholics still? Yeah, obviously. I
don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I also don't see like any churches here. It's so funny when you're in the U.S. You see churches everywhere. I'm like, literally, there's a church on every corner.
Especially in.
That was a weird sound. Yeah, I don't know if they're like hiding them here or something, but I don't know if I've seen like literally any. There may be one.
I think they might be more in Central or something. They're probably more of like the more grand buildings that aren't on this side. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's
Either
a
way.
good observation though, because
Yeah.
really.
I mean, compared to the U.S., it's not even close.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everybody, welcome back. Episode 21. It's been somewhat of a slow last week, so we're going to do just a little bit of what we've been up to and then heavy on the parenting of it all. So, as always, hit you with the welcome to the show. Awesome. You want to hit everybody with the social media.
Yay. So you guys know the deal. Instagram, Facebook, trying the number 2 parent. Nope, I already said that one. YouTube, trying space the number 2 space parent. And the good old Gmail is trying the number 2 parent podcast at gmail.com. And if you would, please give us a good rating on wherever you listen to your podcast. It's going to help us, get this thing out there and get the exposure that hopefully...
double.
double.
Triple horn, triple DJ horn.
Wow.
All right, it's important. Go and do it.
Wow. But hopefully the exposure I won't regret later in life, but here we go.
Yeah, and as always...
Come on, Mark. Come on, show me that you like me.
Show us that you like us.
Just show us. Come on. Not asking too much. But, all right, so now that we're through with that, and, if you want to call in, it's crazy. Listen closely. 360-450-5008. So call me maybe. All right.
Don't call him baby, because that's what I call
But
him.
don't call me baby. Baby. You want to talk about the mangoes real quick here?
The mangoes here are just all fantastic.
They are second to none.
They are the best.
Now, granted, your boy is picking them. So
I've picked a couple good ones.
have you?
Yes,
Have you?
I have.
That just goes to show you how good they are out here.
Because even I can pick them, and I don't know how to pick fruit.
Pick the fruit. But yeah, those mangoes are choice.
Yeah, and they got like the itty bitty ones that I don't know how you
Yeah,
eat,
they have tiny
and then
mangoes.
the ideal personal size, and then they got the kind of bigger ones that have the red on them.
Ideally, they would be much larger for me.
For you. I'm like, no, this
I
is
can
a
eat
good.
like 3 mangoes at a time. The quality of these mangoes, especially you get a good one, and I'm like, there's no fruit better than this.
They are really good. And I never really had mangoes besides when we went to Asia and then here.
Super sweet mangoes from Mexico.
Yeah, seriously.
So
Lots of
pretty awesome.
mangoes, like almost one a day.
And if you weren't aware, mangoes are higher in potassium than bananas are. So if you need a lot of potassium, you know where to go.
Mango.
And they're very rich color. They're like dark orange.
Yeah.
Sometimes you cut into mango, you're like, oh, this thing is bright yellow. This is going to be shit mango.
See, I don't know that enough. I don't know that much.
Like I said, so she doesn't even know the difference in colors of mangoes. That shows you that if she's picking good ones, they're all good.
Yep.
It's all good.
Lucky. Lucky for me.
So let's talk a little bit about how on last week's podcast, we talked about the internet and how we had set up our bank and we didn't set up the internet, but we set up an appointment to get the internet taken care of. And we kind of had spoke about how they must listen to the podcast because they heard us talking shit. And then I think they heard that episode and then decided after we booked an appointment that they were going to fuck us again.
Yep.
Because now, no internet.
No internet, and they don't know. They don't know when our David, the administrator dude that lives in this complex, said it may be a couple weeks. It took me 3 days to get a response on WhatsApp on them, and they were like, yeah, next week. I'm like, cool, can I get that like in writing and some other
Yeah, anything.
And then I went to the store the same day that I finally got a response from the WhatsApp people, and then the people at the store were like, I don't know, 15, 20 days before you can even make an appointment because we don't have the bandwidth for new people right now. And I'm like,
What?
that's not, like, why are you guys all on different pages? But at least the good news is that they did install the ducts. So it's moving in the right direction.
Here's the deal, man.
But it's real. It's getting bad.
We're trying to figure out if we need to get Starlink.
But
Or
I don't
what?
even know. We
don't
can't
know if
have
that'll
any. We can't have any cords on the outside of our building. So even if we did get Starlink and put it on the roof, there's no way to run the cord from the roof to our second level apartment.
So unless they get the internet fixed here, we will not be living here for sure for not any time after this.
No.
Because it doesn't work. The main reason we're out here is to do our business.
Yeah.
And if we can't do our business, then we can't
live here.
be here. So we're going to get that figured out. But also, what else happened? Oh, yeah, the power keeps going out. So that's cool. You know, not like you need power to do anything, especially when your phone works on the, just the normal cell service here fantastically.
It doesn't work on cell service.
So let me tell you, there has been some challenges.
Yeah.
And, overcoming them. It's not all paradise. It's not all.
Margaritas on the beach.
Yes. But what I can tell you is, hey, U.S., maybe send some of those Mexicans back over here. Because I think all the hard-working ones left to go make much better money in the U.S. Send them back here because these people that are here now don't want to do shit. They're like, internet, we'll get to you, maybe. We'll set some appointments. We won't show. We'll think about it. We'll fuck with you. So I'd appreciate it. I know there's a lot of hardworking ones out there. Just send me like 2 of them. We can get a lot of shit done here. Pay them good money too.
Oh, man.
Gosh, it's frustrating to say the least. But
yeah,
we'll get it figured out.
You cannot be in any hurry to get anything done here.
Nothing. You want to go hang out at the grocery store? You'll be in line for 30 minutes.
Yeah, seriously, you cannot be in a hurry to go to any store.
Those people check the items and bag them like it's the opposite of that freaking extreme bagging competition that people do. Watch me bag these 300 items in 30 seconds. These people are like, watch me bag these 3 items in 30 minutes.
They're like, I only check out 6 people per day.
Yep. real chill here. Real chill.
Real chill.
So if that's what you're looking
like
for.
island time. Everyone's just chill.
Be like,
That's
hey,
a good way to put it.
you guys didn't realize you're attached to the U.S. and to Central and South America. There's no island here. Let's get to fucking work, people. We got to get this thing going. So that's been cool. The power going out has been awesome.
It went out for like 3.5 hours.
On Thursday, I think.
Was it Thursday?
I think it was Thursday. Yeah.
It got real hot in here.
It got toasty quick because
Because it was in the middle of the day.
It's been getting a lot warmer lately.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Nina. We finally like walked to the pool because we're like, I don't know what else to do. Like it's almost hotter outside.
It was hotter in the place
apartment,
than it was outside because at least there was a little breeze blowing.
Yeah.
So we went down to the pool along with everybody else. Luckily, we have multiple pools here, but
yeah, everyone
that was
at a
annoying.
pool.
And then I think it ended up cutting off multiple times during the night.
Yep, it cut out.
Not for long, luckily.
Yeah, it was out once it was dark. So luckily we have all these little string fairy lights around. So we use those for light. And then it went off 2 or 3 times in the night. And you were, I just hear you go, nah, what the fuck? I'm like, I'm not waking you up. You just woke me up.
Dude, I need the fan to sleep. And not just the fan. We have 3 fans.
We have 3 fans running.
Ceiling head fan, ground fan, and
The
AC
air
unit.
con. Yeah.
Your boy runs hot.
Yes, and I have an extra blankie on my side,
Mm-hmm.
if you can believe that. Yeah.
No. So that's been cool. We're also still not pregnant, which...
Obviously, I haven't ovulated yet this cycle, but
Yeah,
yes.
I guess from last week, nothing really changes.
Nope.
People's changes, not this. So still working on that. Still doing it.
If we even were pregnant, we wouldn't even announce it
That's true.
for like 10 weeks. So
Yeah, we wouldn't exactly tell you guys for a little while because
we wouldn't want the same thing that happened last time. So
not that any of you knew because you don't listen to the podcast.
yeah, but now that these are live, we got to be real strategic.
Yeah. So got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's time for a segment. Which segment would you like to do?
Are we doing?
That's too bad. We're going to do highs and lows. All right, Derek. Would you like to start or would you like me to start?
I'll start.
All right, you take it away.
Okay.
you wife.
My highs are that we went to the circus.
Yes, I totally forgot about that. We did that this week.
Yep. We went to the Circus of the Dead.
Which you might be thinking, why is there a Circus of the Dead right now? It's April.
Well, they tore around. I don't know.
And it's Mexico. We can do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
It's not just because it's dead. It has to be October and Halloween time. They like Day of the Dead, Circus of the Dead type of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
It was pretty cool. And then, we went with our friends. And
I had
then,
an edible, so I got super high
Yes.
while I was there.
I think I
And
didn't think I was high. And then the next day, I did not feel good. And I was like, I was definitely high.
Boy, was it awesome and funny. There
Yeah.
were some really funny things. This guy that's amazing at juggling could also juggle balls in his mouth. And I'm going to let you take that wherever you want it. But he had at least 7 in there at one time, and he was spitting them out and catching them and just juggling
Which was
with
really
his mouth.
funny on edibles.
It was incredible. And there was just some other insane,
Yeah, crazy performances.
very, very worth it. And I think, what did we pay?
$22 or something like that.
$22.
And
Wasn't
the
crazy.
show was almost 3 hours.
Yeah. And then they did a big story portion, in between all of these acts. Mm-hmm. Couldn't understand any of it. So
It
I
was
bet it
kinda
would have
cool,
been really cool if I understand what they were saying because it seemed like a cool storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, the actual performances were fantastic.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, so, and we've been going out to eat at different places and just trying different things, exploring more of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. That was my high. And then also last night that Izzy won.
Yes, UFC, big UFC fights last night.
Yep.
None bigger than Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira. And if you don't follow that stuff, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because real big fight, and Izzy flatlined him after losing to him 3 previous times, 2 outside the UFC. First time losing to him in the UFC, which took his belt. First time he had lost his belt. And he came back and fucking starched him this time.
Yeah, which is crazy because right before he knocked him out, I was like, oh no, Izzy's getting his ass kicked. And then he came back with a...
He was playing possum.
Yep.
Stuck him right in his face. So that was big.
Yeah, definitely.
Big for the black community. You see, that's why Amanda's so excited about it.
I gotta support my peeps. And then my low is that not only, last Sunday the vets not be able to complete Nina's Cushing's disease test, but her skin is progressively getting worse. So I had to bring her in earlier. They didn't even do the Cushing's disease test because her skin is so bad. They put her on antibiotics. So I have to take her in again on Wednesday. But I just feel really bad for Nina. I know she's uncomfortable, and it just really makes me sad that she's going downhill so quickly. Not her spirits, just her skin. Besides that, she's okay, but
her skin is no bueno.
No, I mean, even from last week, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at least they're trying. They're trying to help her.
We're gonna figure something out, and they're going to be able to help us. But it's just sad all the time in between where we know she's getting worse. We're talking about you.
And then we have to give her all these medicated, shampoo baths. And I know she hates baths, but she has to have them 3 times a week. So
what kind of dog? She's not a fan of,
getting
water.
Yeah.
And she's like, her mom, don't get that shit in my ears, man.
Exactly. It's from. I used to give her baths all the time, though, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Her old age. Yeah. So that's also my low. Just because, again, I heard those floppy ears out there. Just because we don't have a child, all of our focus and things like this go to her. And it's just, again, luckily her spirits are still high and she seems to be doing fine, but she's constantly licking, and we know that she's in pain. And goddamn, if I had sores and stuff like that on my body, I would be very uncomfortable and frustrated. So that's been very unfortunate and rough for us.
Yeah.
My highs, though, I would say had a great week of helping families.
You did. We
had some people on the team that were able to do some awesome things and help some families and put some stuff in place. This IUL thing is really starting to roll. Been able to help quite a few people with those this past week, and helping a lot of friends, some upcoming friends, put them in place. So
yeah, definitely.
Again, at the end of the day, just really excited to help people put something in place that's going to help secure their financial future in some way or another. Yeah, and then obviously leave some generational wealth behind to the family. So that's always cool. After highs and lows, let's go ahead and talk about what's in the news.
The entire Channel 4 News team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
San Diego. So we are going outside of the U.S. for this What's in the News this week. A Western Australia town bans the sale of energy drinks to 18 and under to combat declining mental health issues. So I'm going to read you a short blurb from this, and then we'll post the article.
Okay.
So there's been a growing concern about the effects of energy drinks on young people. Bridgetown, a small community in Western Australia, has taken that concern to the next level by banning the sale of drinks to those under the age of 18 as a part of a 4-month research trial. As this report notes, doctors in the town are hoping the ban will reduce antisocial behavior and improve mental health. Local GP Sarah Youngson says among her young patients, she's noticed an increase in insomnia and anxiety that was connected with energy drink use. Young people are more susceptible to the effects of caffeine, she explains, in their development stage means they don't necessarily have the capacity to make rational decisions around the use of energy drinks. Some of my young patients come in drinking an energy drink and say to me, I can't get to sleep till 3 a.m. And then they are unable to get out of bed, go to school in the morning, and do other such activities. So do I fully believe this energy drink thing? Not exactly. Do I drink energy drinks? Maybe once a month, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm also a 31-year-old man. I didn't drink them when I was younger. I didn't have a lack of energy when I was younger.
Yeah. I definitely don't think that like high school children should be drinking energy drinks or coffee. I do agree that your brain is not even fully developed at that point. And if you're overstimulating with caffeine, which is a drug, I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't remember drinking that stuff in high school. I don't remember it being that big. I mean, now there's like a million of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember Monster was big, Red Bull was big, but now there's like
20,000
literally a million different types of
like
things.
There's a new one. Yeah. I think I started drinking those when I was 21 and I worked like 70 hours a week. Like,
yeah, I think the only time I would really drink like a Red Bull in anything is when I was working at the bar.
Yeah,
I would drink vodka Red Bull or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what 21-year-old doesn't drink vodka Red Bull?
Yeah.
But I think that was really the first times that I had energy drinks. But when also working at the bar, I had to stand there all night.
Yeah, very true.
And
I definitely recall having some energy drinks when working those late.
Yeah, but that's also
nights.
Years after graduating from high school.
Again, very true. Still 23, 24, 25 years old when I was doing that.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. Kids, I mean, I feel like young kids these days are drinking. You're probably seeing kids who are 11, 12 years old drinking energy drinks. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, no, that definitely can be good for you.
Be good for you. It's like drinking Mountain Dew.
Like, we might as well just have coffee at that point. Coffee would be way more healthier.
Coffee would be much better for you.
Yeah, seriously.
So
I wonder if kids in Europe drink espressos and stuff like.
I don't know. I guarantee you they don't drink energy drinks at the level that people do in the U.S.
Definitely not. That's crazy.
Well, it looks like my camera froze.
No. Well.
That's so interesting. I don't know why it does that.
The cameras are not on our side during these, apparently.
Yeah, we got to get. We got to upgrade our system. So don't
You
know
mean
how long
these
that was
iPhone 4s aren't doing
These
it?
are iPhone 7s, and yeah, we may have to switch to our phones as we may just do a double camera show. 2 camera, both our phones. We got 2 phones.
We got 2 phones. One for the plug, one for the dog.
So yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on energy drinks? I don't drink them. Do you drink them a lot? I know some people. The guy I used to work with at the carpentry place would drink 2 every day. Mason
would drink like 2 bangs a day. Those have like 350 milligrams of caffeine.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I know my brother drinks them fairly often, but gosh, I used to drink energy drinks a lot, and then I just weaned off of them. I mean, I say a lot, like when I was in Oklahoma, I actually think I had one in the morning instead of a coffee machine.
Well, what else is there to do in Oklahoma?
Exactly.
So that makes sense. Peach
rings and energy drinks for breakfast.
Wow.
Of a 19-year-old champion. There you
Got a body like a temple over here. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and ask the listeners. Do you remember what our question for the week was? Was it the what age? Let's talk about puberty. Say, baby, let's talk about puberty. All right.
Did anyone even answer yet?
Yes. So we've got some responses here. And the question is, what is the appropriate age to start teaching your kids about puberty?
Okay.
One of the first answers is when you start teaching them words and body parts.
It's very early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very early. Let's see.
Words and body parts. I guess you would have to really like they were saying in the show, like make it very age appropriate, but in a way that they can understand.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the show, you just had so many kids that were different ages where it's like, I can't expect you over here.
Yeah, like you can't just kind of generalize everything. But
So we got this person that said, this is a hard one because there's different parts to puberty. Like the sex talks needs to probably be when they're old enough to understand what sex is. But like teaching little girls about periods and body changes, etc. Teaching little boys about their stuff. I don't have a son, so I don't know. That's the dad's job. I educate my daughter on periods when they happen, probably since she was 5 years oldish. We're also very open. She knows all about tampons and cups and period stuff. I don't even know what cups are. She knows a kid version of why my periods happen. So it's a question with multiple pieces.
I like that.
Yeah, I am right there. I definitely think it's a process that as you're going through and the kid's getting older, you're teaching them like maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that would be a good approach because if you're like, talking to your daughter, like, okay, mommy's got to, I don't even know how you would say like, oh, mommy got to change your tampon or change my pad. Like, I don't, because the kid's following you or in the bathrooms like constantly. They're gonna be like, mommy, what is that? What are you doing? Why are you reaching in there?
I don't know how many pictures of people I see where they're like, I try to go to the bathroom and then this is what's outside. And you see like 3 kids, the animals, dad's chilling there. It's just everybody's waiting for you in the bathroom. You're only alone time.
Yeah.
All right, so we got
even an alone time.
I'm gonna say when they get a feeling, you know what I mean? So maybe around like 12-ish. 12. How did I feel at 12? Probably pretty crazy. Yeah, that probably came on pretty hard. That's
what she said.
Listeners, it came on pretty hard. That's what she said. That was good.
Thanks.
This listener said, I say casually talk about it when they're little, then as the years go on, mature the conversation. Ooh, I like that. That's good. That's good.
That's a good one.
This person just said 9 years old. All right.
It's also a fair age.
We do it at 9, yep.
Because I feel like at 9, they're old enough to understand maybe bigger picture things like, hey, this is going to happen.
Guys didn't realize
in the
we
future.
live in an area where there's dog fights, so excessive barking.
If you can hear that. I feel like, if you weren't going to introduce it before, then I feel like maybe 9 would be a decent starting point because they still have maybe a couple years where you can try and introduce.
Are they still teaching about it in school? And if they are, when does that happen?
I don't have any idea, honestly.
All right. Another response is whenever they start asking questions, I'm always open and honest. That sounds like the child-led parenting.
Yeah, exactly. Well, what if they don't come to
Yeah,
with
that's
questions?
the thing is what if they don't ask the questions?
Yeah.
Where are you at then? When you hear them start talking about things, I'd say 7 to 9 years old. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. All right, so we've got a general idea. Most people are talking about kind of early on. You increase the conversation with maturity level as they go.
Yeah.
And they start experiencing things, but you probably want to start some things early. Just let them know. Again, I don't think you can be too open with them. It just has to be somewhat age appropriate that they can understand, maybe.
Yeah.
And again, that's how you learn. You teach them things. They don't get it all right away, but you keep it you keep it simple, stupid. Just keep it real basic for them until they start to understand things. And then you're like, oh, yeah, remember I was telling you about that when you were
so I don't remember
5 years old.
Any of these conversations with my mom.
Really? With your steel trap memory? That's crazy. All right,
I have no idea what sound that is.
You're getting all sorts of sounds here. I don't even have to do drops anymore. They just do weird sounds. Alrighty, so I think it's time for overseas parenting, but I got a little spin on it this
A
week.
little spin.
It's time for that super sweet overseas parenting fact of the week.
Super sweet overseas parenting fact of the week. Guess what? This one comes from our own U.S.
Oh, the US of A.
Yes. So I'm taking you way back here because I thought this was absolutely insane.
Don't throw the
And-
baby out with the bathwater.
No,
Okay.
very close. I think this is something that probably would have really fucked you up as a kid.
Uh-oh.
So in the 1930s, city dwellers hung baby cages outside of apartment windows so their children could get the recommended amount of fresh air and sun while they're perilously suspended high above the busy city streets.
Wow.
So there's literally a picture, and I'll have to post it, of a baby in a cage.
Like a kennel?
Yeah,
Like a
like a
dog
kennel
kennel?
that's attached to the window, and the baby's outside. And I don't know how high this is off the ground, but I mean, if you live on the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth floor, you're putting your baby just like you're Michael Jackson, your baby, just putting it out like, here it is, over the ledge, like just hang out in
my
that cage.
God.
That cage would have to be so secure, and the baby's like looking down, and they can like see basically their demise below
They're
them.
like, hello, this is maybe
You're just
my
walking
last.
down the streets, and you're like, look at all these babies hanging out the fucking windows. And that's
crazy.
how you defeat your baby's fear of heights, because we all know babies are afraid of heights.
Oh,
Crazy shit that they used to do back in the day.
to get the recommended sunlight? What?
Sunlight and fresh air.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you're getting fresh air in the city. That's what you're definitely getting.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was like when cars were
Yeah, in the 1930s, God.
coming around. I'm sure their emissions tests were not under wraps.
Yeah. Also, probably wasn't like that many cars. Probably had a strong smell of like,
Manure
yeah, horse shit.
and oil, possibly.
Yes.
Interesting.
So, just moving chairs around upstairs on these
Yeah.
hard floors. Okay. Well, we're going to do I Love the 90s, and we're going to do a spin on this too. I'm going to have some trivia questions for you.
Oh my gosh.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
It's time.
What's that?
What that? All right. Look at that. It looks like your camera is frozen now, too. Luckily, I'm only doing it on our two-person camera. But it looks like I'm going to take those phones and smash them.
Okay.
All right. So, I
Then
love
I
the
will look
90s. Yep. Straight ahead. I love the 90s. First question for you.
Okay.
What does the abbreviation AOL stand for?
Ooh, America Online.
That is correct.
Boom, 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 boom. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, let's see.
AOL.
Let's see a
I
quick
had
drop
my.
for you here.
Because
That is correct.
I loved some AIM.
American Online. Question number 2.
False.
Abraham Lincoln. In the 1990s, which wide-legged jeans became a fashion favorite for children? Wide-legged jeans.
Bell
it's a
bottoms?
brand.
Oh, God. Like a brand?
I think like a company that made them, like you would say American Eagle. I think.
Was it Levi?
No. One more guess. Starts with a J.
Oh, a J.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not guess then. So,
Nope.
no, I don't know.
Janko jeans.
Janko jeans.
Janko jeans.
Oh.
It's all coming back to you now.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
I
One for
still
one.
would never would have guessed the
I
name
mean,
because only the punk kids wore those, right?
1 for 2.
Yeah.
Third question.
Okay.
In the 1990s, what function was added to the portable CD players that enabled both children and adults to enjoy their music without missing a beat?
Was it like a headphone splitter?
Nope.
I don't know.
Incorrect. Where's my incorrect?
Incorrect.
What?
What?
That's not that one.
Skip protection.
Skip protection.
Skip protection. And honestly, how well did that really work? I don't feel like skip protection worked that great.
No, because he still had to
Yeah, they're like, hey, you can do this, but don't walk or move or do anything with it.
don't have it tilt to any side.
Always have a level with you because your CD player, if it is not level, will skip.
Interesting.
All right, one more question. You are 1 for 3.
Yep.
You're really
All
going
right.
to need this one to get back to 50%. And if you don't get this, I will be fairly upset.
Uh-oh.
What snack was the most effective for applying it to your fingers, creating which fingernails?
Funyuns. No, not the
Come on. You got
this.
you got the name.
They like Frugals or
Very close. Very close to Frugals. Very close, folks. Will we take that? They said no? All right. Come back with the answer. Very close to Frugals. You're basically one letter off.
Frugals?
Nope.
Frugals?
Nope.
I don't know the name.
It's Bugles.
Bugles,
God damn it. Jesus Christ, you were so close. Are we giving that? No, she got 1.5.
1.5.
1.5 out of Frugals. Very Frugals. Bugles? Come on. Bugles.
Bueller.
Tell me you didn't put those things on your fingers.
I didn't
though.
really eat those.
You didn't eat Bugles?
No.
I used to put shit inside them. They were like little cups, little hats, little witch fingers, whatever you want to call them.
That's why I don't even know if I've ever really bought them.
Pretty crazy. You never bought Bugles? The disrespect that happens on this show is unbelievable. All right, you know what? I'm going to let you take it away to the parent test.
Oh, gosh. All right. Well, tonight, episode 7 of the parent test, we are in the semifinals.
The semifinals, which means there were 12 families that started. One got removed from each one of those groups. So there were groups of 3, 4, 4, and 4. Three groups of 4.
Yeah. I was like, no.
And then one family got deleted, removed, whatever.
But now in the semifinals, there's 3 families and only one gets to move on.
Yep. So 3 groups of 3, and one gets to move on from each one of those groups.
Yes. Correct. So the ones that are left, or the ones that were in the front row, I guess, of this episode and these rounds of tests are the natural parenting style, the intensive parenting style, and the new age parenting style. So the first test that they had was about morals.
Morals. Very important.
And it was leaving your child alone in a candy store to see if they would take candy, like steal it. But they parents told them not to touch the candy, so it was also combating, obviously urges of kids being alone in a candy store.
And candy.
Let's be real. So the first one was the intensive style, and they were very confident that she would not take any candy because they traumatized her as a child.
The intensive were the Asian parents, the younger Asian lady and the older Asian man. Mm-hmm. And they have 6 or 7 year old? I think she's like 7.
She's 6.
6. Yeah, I think she's 6. And they're like, we're not even worried. She's definitely not taking anything. And everybody's like, oh, okay, well, let's see. She didn't take any candy.
No.
And the reason why we found out she didn't take any candy is because she had stolen when she was even younger from a book fair or something like that. She stole something small. And they found out, and they basically shamed her for that. And then...
No, they didn't give her any... They didn't discipline her at all at that point.
Oh, okay. So they didn't discipline her at all at that point. But then when her birthday came around, they didn't give her any presents. They just gave her what she stole and embarrassed her in front of her.
Yeah.
I guess everybody.
Yeah.
At her birthday.
So they're like, oh, remember when you stole this? This is the only thing that you're getting for your birthday.
And she's 6 now?
Yeah.
So unless they just did that for her 6th birthday, she was either 5 or 4, which is fucking insane.
So everyone was like, oh, okay, that's a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
That's I mean,
I agree with what the discipline mom said. That that's almost borderline like emotional abuse because
your child was either 4, 5, or 6 when you did that to him. That is a crazy way to try and teach them a lesson.
yeah, and you know what? I don't want to like relate a child to a dog, but it's kind of like how they say you should train a dog. So like if you don't like if the dog poops on the floor and then you try and discipline them like hours later after it's already cleaned up, they don't have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you're punishing them, but they don't know what they're being punished for. So I feel like the delayed punishment of this crime, I mean, they said it works for her. They said that she thrives off negative reinforcement, which to me,
What 6-year-old doesn't?
To me, I'm like, that sounds awful.
It's a good way to have some negative
Trauma.
feelings about your family.
Yeah, seriously, trauma as you get older. Anyway, so obviously she did not take any candy. The next group was the new age. They have 2 girls and a younger boy. The kids were just making funny comments in there the whole time.
Yeah. The one like middle girl was like, "Yeah, take it, take the. Oh, go ahead, take one, take one."
Yeah,
she's
she's
like,
like,
"No, I can't."
Yeah, she's like, I just want it so bad. She's like, just do it. They're not gonna find out. She's like, no, I can't.
I would feel bad.
And then the youngest boy is like, no, they told us not to touch anything.
It looks
They
like we're gonna
just
have to
said
live
that."
in here now.
Yeah.
So yeah, they didn't end up taking anything. We really like the new age people. Very like hippie style with discipline.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, our kids are free to do basically whatever they want, but they know that there
This
are
is a line and you
rules.
don't cross this line.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then the last one was the farm people.
Farm people, yep, the people that don't get a whole lot of exposure to many other things because they live on a farm.
Yep.
And their little girls were cute. They're like probably 4 and 5 or something like that. And
Like, no, I'm not supposed to touch the candy.
Yeah.
So she used a scooper to pick up candy
And
where
like-
she wasn't touching the candy.
yeah, show
so
it to her sister.
Yeah, but the one little girl was like,
Oh yeah, the little girl was like,
we don't have
Also.
to tell them.
yeah, she was like, hey,
Yeah, she's like,
well, fuck mom and dad, let's do this.
yeah, we don't have to tell them if we touch the candy.
So funny.
Yeah,
One sibling's always just like, hey,
let's push.
yeah,
Let's push the boundaries.
You
here.
do it, you got it. I won't tell on you. I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
anything.
right. And then the first thing we're gonna do,
Yeah.
Mom,
You ate that candy. I told her not to.
yeah, exactly. So all the kids passed. None of them took the candy, so at least that's good.
They showed discipline, showed restraint, showed
They showed working the emotions out in their head because they're repeating the rules out
they're
loud, like as they're going through their thought process.
touch this.
Yeah, exactly. Which
But
I
I
think,
really want it. This is the way that kids talk to themselves. Is so funny.
yeah, it's so like, this looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna have 5 of these. Yeah. So yeah, that was a pretty straightforward test, but everybody listens to their parents. So pretty,
Yeah.
pretty easy.
And then the final test,
Challenge,
yeah,
test, yeah.
final challenge on this one was an escape room that had
Oh, yeah.
no way out.
Yeah.
And this test was how you can deal with total failure because these are trick rooms. There's literally there's no end. There's no way to get out. Everyone failed.
Yeah.
And it's how you, as a parent, deal with complete failure and how you react to your children. Also, like knowing that you're not getting anything done that you want to get done. So the intensive.
Yeah. Can you teach them not to give up? Can you teach them to stay calm and cool and collective? Can you do it? Because the parents also didn't know that there was no way out.
Yeah.
Or, no end to it. So
They just said, here, you have an hour.
yeah.
Good luck.
Try and get out of this room.
Yeah, exactly. So the intensive ones, the daughter was like, Mom, we can't do this. And she was like, don't you ever say that you can't do it. Like,
The dad was getting pretty frustrated, and then he made a comment at the end saying like, well, that was pretty frustrating. Looks like our daughter is not a genius or whatever. And
yeah, because initially,
again, everybody's just like, what the fuck,
yeah,
man?
everyone was like, oh, it's not like you were in the room too trying to get
or
out.
you weren't trying.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it was unfair that we didn't know that it wasn't possible to even get out.
He's like,
whatever.
they gave us the hardest room, and the host was like, no, there's no way out. Like, that's the point.
Yeah, it was very. They make it uncomfortable the way that they like parent. You're like, oh God, expectations are so high, and they seem like they're so strict.
Yeah, but they claim that they're trying to make sure that their daughter knows that she's capable and not to give up and just to, push towards success. But the psychologist on the show was saying that, like they felt very disappointed, even though this whole thing was still a game in the first place. Mm-hmm. Like they were just so let down that they didn't succeed. And maybe that, isn't something positive in itself. So the next group that they had on there was the natural parents, and that they had the 2 daughters. And initially the youngest one was like, this looks scary. I don't want to go in here. But then once
she was definitely not for it at the beginning. Yeah,
but then once they started it, she was on a roll. She's like, we need to find the keys. Everybody look for a key.
They did go into somewhat of a dungeness looking room. Somebody where
it looked so sketch.
People would probably get raped or something like that. Like it was a very scary looking,
like a trafficking holding cell.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, if you were to be sex trafficking people, you would keep them in these type of rooms. Yep. So that was a cool experience for 2 little girls to go down in this creepy ass looking dungeon
live on
room.
A farm.
Yeah. So the one daughter that didn't want to go down there was totally all about it. When she got down there, the other daughter was like, I do not want to be here.
Yeah, and the dad tried to use comedy to distract distract her, but she was just not having it. So, and
they were fair at the end. They were like, hey, we don't blame her for not wanting to be here. It was a creepy place. She wanted to go home. Like, we know that.
They're like, we're glad she was afraid of this.
Yeah, if she's uncomfortable, she'll, maybe leave a situation in the future that she's doesn't feel right in. So.
Yeah. So I don't blame her for that one.
And they're like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah. So young. Totally get it. The new age one, they went into a really cool looking room, but
this was like foresty and
it had all these fairy lights and greenery around. The children started to fight, and the mom was like real quick to be like, nope.
Yeah, she nipped that shit in the butt.
Yeah, she's like, we're not doing that.
She grabbed something from my hand. The 2 daughters were fighting.
Yeah.
And
as siblings do.
Yeah. As any sibling does. They wanted to be like involved, and one was like, no, I'm going to do it. And then the other one's like, I'm doing this. And she's like, no, you guys better work together on this.
Yep.
And she nipped that shit right in the butt, and they ended up pulling through, and they got out of the room that they were in into another room.
It was like the next level of the unsolvable room.
Yeah.
So they thought that they got it, but they were all fairly working together.
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, after she again nipped that little bickering in the butt, they were like, okay, yeah, like we're back in this. Hey, we figured it out. All right. And they all, started working as a team again.
Yeah. So the psychologist said about that one that they actually probably did the best, but it was about having fun above success, like just making sure that you're trying your best, whether or not, obviously there was no winners in this, but they were just saying like the way that they were working together, but also they have 3 kids, so it's a lot of activity going on too. But yeah, I feel like they were fairly chill. The parents were.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, they were chill. The free
neutral
or the neutral
natural.
Yeah, not neutral.
They were very chill.
The neutral
too.
people were very neutral. The natural people were neutral. It was just the Asian family that was like. I just felt uncomfortable. Like, well, I guess my kid's not a genius. She couldn't get out of this. My 6-year-old kid couldn't get out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they definitely, he was like, oh, we should be out of here in a couple minutes. She'll figure it out. And then she didn't. And the mom was like, I can't believe none of these work. Don't say you can't do it.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, after that, they ended up voting. And again, only one family moves on to the finale.
Yep.
I guess it would be, because it's going to be 3 families against each other in the finale. And they ended up voting the New Age family
to go through,
to move forward. So that's the hippie-ish style family, Which I agreed with. I mean, I think their
Yeah.
style of parenting is, out of those couple, by far the best.
Yeah, and I think the natural is a little hard to judge because I wonder if it was a natural but not a farm. Like, I wonder how the situation would be different.
Yeah, I like their style.
I like the
mean,
style, but it just them being so in a bubble. I wonder if it was, a different situation.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I mean, you could have easily been in their living situation, but be high achievement or be strict or something like that. And, that may look a little different, but they are in a bubble as far as what they're exposed to on their daily lives. But I do like their parenting style.
Yeah, I like them. They love outdoor activities. And
yeah, their kids are feeding all the animals. They're driving tractors and shit.
Yeah.
They
have chores and responsibilities at the house.
I don't know if I particularly like anything about what's the Asian families? Intensive, yeah. Like, I don't know if there's, because most styles I like something about, and I'm like, oh yeah, I like this about that. I don't know if there's anything I like about that style.
No, I would gravitate more towards the high achievement, which is a lesser version of that.
I mean, they're making their daughter do all of this super advanced math, play violin,
take
photography, take taekwondo, like all of these things.
If like a stereotypical Chinese child,
yeah, you're like, you have to be incredible at everything.
Yeah.
And it just seems like
she hasn't
she's often uncomfortable with the life of a child that she has, because it's like, oh, you're basically grown right now. You have a full-time job. You're doing all of these things.
Yeah. And they said they don't really play. It's all educational games or something like that.
Nothing's just being a kid.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. I wonder how the mom grew up.
Probably like that.
Yeah.
Or the opposite of that. But again, I feel like most Asian families, especially Chinese families, they're like, hey, that's why they're always doctors, or what's the other thing? Basically, doctors or something else. It's like, hey, you have to be one of these two of the top jobs in the world. And if you're not, you're a heavy disappointment to us.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a lot to live up to, because there's not that many doctors, and say lawyers is the other one. It's just like, all right, slim picking here, man. There's a lot more other jobs out there.
Yeah.
But
yeah. But I like the new age. I'm glad that they, got chosen.
Mm-hmm. I love their style. It's so.
Yeah, and so another debate that they talked about on there was like, okay, so it's all gushy at home, it's all loves and kisses and stuff like that, but how are you preparing them for the disappointments of the real world? And they were talking about just, some other things that they implement and try and teach their children to be accepting of everyone. And if you see someone either being alone that doesn't have a friend, or, being picked on, that you go be their buddy, like try to be that person that you would want someone to be for you. And that's something that I also really like about their parenting style. And like, they're like, we can control our environment, which might make them a better person in their outside environment. Or maybe they'll be a good environment to somebody else, or,
Exactly. And just because everything's all gushy at home and super loving and, one, doesn't mean that they're not facing any challenges at home.
Yeah.
When you fight with your siblings, with all of these different things that happen, those are challenges.
Yeah, 100%.
But if they raise you to be super compassionate and caring and loving and
just good
accepting,
people,
then when you meet these challenges out in the real world, you're going to face those in a different way.
Yeah, and just, be a critical thinker and stuff like that. So.
Yep. So, all in all, I would say it was a good episode.
Mm-hmm. The next one's going to be a
doozy.
doozy.
The show. Yeah. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in. As always, episode 21 will be back next Sunday, and it will drop next Monday, episode 22. We got Columbia coming up here pretty soon.
Yep, like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So, adventure time. It's been a while.
Yep.
But we're ready.
Something to look forward to as well.
Yep. Got a big week of work coming up ahead of us. So, let's get after it. Hope you guys have a great week. Hope you had a great Easter.
Yeah, long
Spent
weekend.
some time with your family.
Yep.
Yeah, if you had Good Friday off, like
Like
half
I did.
people do. Yeah. Enjoy yourselves. Appreciate the support. As always.
We
We up outta
outta
here.